The 2019 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season is here, and we are getting set to go racing here on this Sunday afternoon from Daytona. It is the 2019 Advanced Auto Parts Clash from the World Center of Racing here in Daytona. I'm Eric Burton here in the broadcast booth. Happy to have you along with us here on March F531 as we get set to go racing here for 25 laps around this 2.5 mile speedway from Daytona Beach, Florida. 20 of the most talented stock car racing drivers are lined up on the grid, waiting for the green flag to drop here on the 2019 season. The 2018 most popular driver, Chase Elliott, will have the hardest task at hand. He'll roll off 20th in his Mountain Dew Chevrolet. Kurt Busch will start 15th in his debut for Chip Ganassi Racing in the number 1 Chevrolet. He'll start on the inside of row number 8. One of the biggest headlines coming into Speed Weeks involves Jamie McMurray, who will compete in his final clash event here this afternoon. He'll start from the 10th position on the outside of row number 5. But all will be chasing the number 3 of Austin Dillon. The defending Daytona 500 champion, crew chief Danny Stockman Jr. drew the pole, which has put his driver, Austin Dillon, on the pole for this afternoon. It is a brand new year for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series with new drivers, sponsors, teams, and let's not forget the new Ford Mustangs that will be debuting here tonight from Daytona. And let's not forget also the addition of the Iowa Speedway added to the 2019 calendar for the Premier Series here in NASCAR. Friday night, we had the qualifying draw, like we said, to set the starting field for this afternoon's event from Daytona. Each crew chief of these 20 drivers sitting on pit lane chose the starting spots for each of their drivers, which led to Austin Dillon getting the pole for today. 3-time Clash winner Denny Hamlin will start on the outside of the front row. Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch will round out the top 5 on the starting grid. Now let's take it down trackside for the opening ceremonies here from Daytona.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks.
Drivers, start your engines!
And now the 20 cars will fire up as we get set to roll into the clash from Daytona. Now let's take a look at your full starting grid as these cars begin to leave pit road and head on to the track. Austin Dillon, the 2018 Daytona 500 champion, will start on the pole next to Denny Hamlin, a 3-time winner of this race. A former 500 winner, he'll start second. On row 2, Joey Logano won this race 2 years ago. He has a new sponsor in 2019 with the addition of Money Lion, Team Penske, and Kevin Harvick won his first 500 pole just a few hours ago. He'll start 4th today. Kyle Busch will roll off 5th in his M&M's Chocolate Toyota alongside former teammate Daniel Suarez, who will start his first race at Stewart-Haas Racing. Row number 4 has a couple of young guns in the field with Alex Bowman in the number 88 and Ryan Blaney in the number 12. Row 5, Jimmy Johnson will have a new sponsor in 2019 with the addition of Alley Financial. He'll start next to Jamie McMurray, who will be competing in his final speed weeks of his career. Row number 6 has a couple of Ford teammates with Paul Menard and Brad Keselowski, who won this race 1 year ago. Row number 7, Eric Almirola coming off a career best year in 2018 alongside Martin Truex Jr. making his first start with Joe Gibbs Racing. Row number 8 will have Kurt Busch in his Chip Ganassi Racing Chevrolet and Clint Bowyer in his Mobil 1 Mustang. Row number 9, Ryan Newman, former Clash winner, will start with his 17th in his first race with Roush Fenway Racing and Kyle Larson in the 42. And running out the field will be Eric Jones in his second Clash appearance alongside Chase Elliott in the number 9. It is a 25-lap race here from Daytona, and it's about to get underway right here with Austin Dillon bringing us down to the green flag. The 2019 season is underway for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. And it was kind of a pretty even start on the front row with Austin Dillon and Denny Hamlin Dillon has the 22 Logano pushing on the 18 of Kyle Busch. You saw didn't really get a good jump there on the start. See, he's not to the bumper of the 22 at the moment. But on the outside comes the 11 of Denny Hamlin, fighting back with a push, and the 4 of Kevin Harvick. They're side by side entering turn number 3. Double wide throughout the entire field as they come off turn number 4, the first lap of 2019. Who will lead the lap? And it appears the momentum will carry for the 11 of Denny Hamlin. He'll lead the first lap in 2019 with a great push from the 4 of Kevin Harvick. It'll be kind of interesting to see if Hamlin drops down like we see right now, or is he going to go back up and try to pick up the 4 of Kevin Harvick? He got him to the top spot, but he may not have a choice. Here comes the 41, making it 3 wide through the middle. That's Daniel Suarez in the 41 car. Suarez just left his teammate Kevin Harvick hung dry there. He puts him on the far outside lane. Suarez has a push now from the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Denny Hamlin won this race back in 2006, his first ever start in the Clash. He was a rookie at the time, and he also won this race in 2014 and again in 2016. But Suarez now fighting on the outside. He has a great push from the 12 of Ryan Blaney. And behind Blaney is his teammate, the number 2 of Brad Keselowski. And Suarez is going somewhere. He's going to the front in that 41. A great push from Ryan Blaney. And look at the 88, Alex Bowman making it 3 wide in the back. Bowman to the inside of the 18 of Kyle Busch. A little bit of contact. And around goes the 18 of Kyle Busch. Takes out the 88 of Alex Bowman and the 1. That is Kurt Busch. Caution flag is out. And at the line, it will be the 41 of Daniel Suarez. And more contact with the 12 and the 11, Blaney and Hamlin. Through the grass goes the 11 of Hamlin. But he brings his car back on the track safely. And it'll be Suarez, Hamlin, and Blaney, your top 3, with Keselowski and Austin Dillon, your top 5. See some pretty good damage on the 18 of Kyle Busch, particularly on the rear end of that number 18 Toyota. Kyle Busch is still running, though. See front end damage on the number 19 of Martin Truex Jr., his first start with Joe Gibbs Racing, and already torn up here on lap number 4. There's the 88 of Alex Bowman, the direct cause of what happened. We saw Bowman make it 3 wide on Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch didn't really give him that much room. There's the 14 of Clint Bowyer. And there's the damage number 1 of Kurt Busch and the damage number 20 of Eric Jones. So a lot of good cars torn up here on lap number 3 here of the Clash from Daytona. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened, bring out the first caution of the day. We were riding along with the 88 of Alex Bowman, and you see he does make it 3 wide on the 18 of Kyle Busch. He does have the nose on the inside. It's more like the 18 try to crowd him down just a little bit. And Kyle Busch comes up and takes out his older brother Kurt Busch in the number 1. And we're going to try to slow it down a little bit more. But Kyle slides out the track, takes out the 1 and his JGR teammate Martin Truex Jr., and it looked like Bowman was going to be okay. It looks like Bowman was going to be able to get through that until Kurt Busch came down and clipped him, and nowhere to go for Eric Jones, who tumbles down the apron in turn number 4 along with the 1 of Kurt Busch, both tumbling down the track. And the 14 of Clint Bowyer, another victim, another bystander who had nowhere to go to avoid that number 1 of Kurt Busch. And you see Eric Jones already teleported to pit lane. When you see a car just be teleported to pit lane, that pretty much sums up that they're going to be done for the afternoon. But you know, Chris Gale, the crew chief for Eric Jones, is going to be trying pretty hard to get that car back on the track, because you have to look at this race. This race is kind of a kind of a dress rehearsal for the Daytona 500, which will be 1 week from today. So these guys want to make enough laps to kind of get a little bit more familiar with what to expect in the 500 next Sunday as we take another look at the 18 and see Bowman. He got through it. Bowman got through it until Kurt Busch slides down and takes out the 88. And there's the 20 of Jones, nowhere to go, and Clint Boyer. Boyer was already committed to the inside lane and just nowhere to go in that 14 car. And see the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. going over to the number 19 after his old team, Furniture Row Racing, suspended operations at the end of 2018. And while all that was going on, the 41, Daniel Suarez, had a great run on the outside, and he will be your leader when we go back green at Daytona. Back live here at Daytona, getting set to go back green here in the clash. Daniel Suarez and the number 12, Ryan Blaney, on the front row. 16 guys remain on track. 4 guys behind the wall, just 4 laps in. Martin Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, and Eric Jones have all retired from the race after the lap 3 crash. It'll be Suarez and Blaney in front row with Denny Hamlin and Brian Keselowski on row 2, Austin Dillon and Eric Almirola row 3, followed by Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Jamie McMurray, and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. That is your top 10. As we have now 18 laps to go, Suarez will bring us down back to the green flag. We're back underway in Daytona. See the number 10 of Eric Almirola dropping down to get behind the 11 of Denny Hamlin. That will move Almirola into 5th place, as that will leave the 2 Penske Fords of Blaney and Keselowski, along with the 4 Kevin Harvick on the outside. They head down the backstretch. Now Suarez moves up to pick up the 4s, and here comes 11 of Hamlin, and Blaney is going to ditch to 41. Blaney goes to the middle in the 12 car. Suarez went high to block the 12, but the 12 had none of it, and Ryan Blaney is going to go to the lead. Should the 2 of Keselowski get up there to help the 12 car? Because Hamlin has a pretty good push from the 10 of Almirola. At the stripe, a dead heat at the line. I give it to the number 11 of Denny Hamlin. He takes the lead at the line, but Blaney now getting a pretty good push from Keselowski and the 4 Kevin Harvick. We said that 4 drivers went behind the wall after the wreck. 2 drivers involved who still continues is the 88 of Alex Bowman and the 18 of Kyle Busch, but both got pretty good amount of damage after that wreck, and you can see it's really hurting them as they've already lost the draft from the leaders. And now you see the 12 of Ryan Blaney has made the outside line work, and he drops down to pick up Denny Hamlin. So Blaney will be a leader at the line in the 12 car. And now here he comes back up high to pick up Keselowski, trying to manipulate both lanes to keep all at bay behind the 12 of Ryan Blaney. But now you have Denny Hamlin going to the inside for the lead. But here comes Almirola. Eric Almirola makes it 3 wide up front, and that's going to help the outside line prevail and keep Blaney up front. Almirola making it 3 wide. That put Denny Hamlin in the middle. We thought that was going to hurt the 11 car. It turns out the big loser is going to be the 2 Brad Keselowski. He gets shuffled to the outside line, and as you see, he has no help from behind. The 40 of McMurray too far back to give the 2 any sort of help. And now Almirola makes a move to the inside for the lead. Eric Almirola and Austin Dillon on the inside. Kind of ironic to see those 2 guys together. It was Almirola who was leading around this time of the final lap last year in the 500 until the guy now on the inside, Austin Dillon, got in the back of him and put him in the wall. Austin Dillon went on to win the Daytona 500 1 year ago. And you saw Dillon make it 3 wide, and Denny Hamlin was the loser that time. You saw, just like Keselowski, get stuck in that 3rd lane, no help. They're going to go to the back, and now Gavin Harvick's going to do the same to his own teammate Almirola. You see all these Fords up here. We see all these teammates. You would expect them to work together, but we've seen Suarez leave Harvick out. We've seen Harvick leave Almirola out. And now Ryan Blaney continues to lead here in the 12 car, and now he has his teammate from Penske, Joey Logano. We've not really talked about him that much this afternoon, but Logano, your defending Cup Series champion, has Moneyline coming on board as a primary sponsor for a couple of races throughout the year. Behind Logano, the 21 of Paul Menard and the 42 of Kyle Larson. 13 laps to go here at Daytona, and it's all Ryan Blaney at the front. They're still 3 wide throughout the entire first half of the field, and there's the 40 of McMurray getting into Denny Hamlin, and around goes the 48. Contact from the 11 of Denny Hamlin, and the 48 and the 2. Brad Keselowski get the worst of it. And you see some of the damage on the left side of the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. You saw Jamie McMurray turn Denny Hamlin down the track and into the 48 of Johnson. And the 2 of Brad Keselowski, nowhere to go to avoid the 48 car. Ryan Blaney continues to lead up front, though, so the front pack has kind of dwindled a little bit. You see Ryan Newman, he had to get on the brake to avoid the 48 in the 2 car. There's Alex Bowman and the 18 of Kyle Busch, also losing a lot of time to the leader Ryan Blaney. So far, Ryan Blaney is really the only guy we've seen grab the lead, but be able to maintain the lead, as really none of these guys have been able to get around that 12 car since he took the lead about 6 laps ago. Kind of the same story each lap. We see the guys try to get to the inside of Ryan Blaney, but only the guy in second car to the inside, which in this case would be Paul Menard. They would normally make it 3 wide, try to make a lane for themselves, and that all that does is hurt the inside, and we're seeing it yet again with Paul Menard making the move on Joey Logano. But Logano has a pretty good push-up from Kyle Larson. Can he hold on and clear Menard? No, he does not. And that will push Austin Dillon to that 3rd lane. So expect that number 3 to fall back as we have 10 laps to go. This time by Ryan Blaney leads. But here comes a nice push on the outside by Logano. Or to Logano from the 42 of Kyle Larson. Logano went high to pick up that 42 of Kyle Larson, but Paul Menard giving the 12 of Ryan Blaney a pretty good push there on the inside, but Logano not fighting or not giving up just yet. We've seen guys make a pass on that outside as here comes Almirola making the 3 wide in the back. Logano up front. He has the nose ahead of the 12 of Blaney. Side by side for the lead, the 2 Penske Ford Mustangs, the Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, side by side for the lead as we'll have 9 laps to go at the line. And Logano led that lap. Now he will pull down and pick up Ryan Blaney, who's going to get stuck in the middle by Paul Menard in that 21 car. We saw Logano get stuck in the middle, but Logano had help from Kyle Larson. Blaney does not have help in that middle lane. It's Larson and Suarez on the outside, Paul Menard and Denny Hamlin on the low side, and they're going to be 4 wide in turn number 3. Look at Hamlin making it 4 wide. Menard and Blaney stuck in the middle. Contact with Menard and Hamlin. They save it. Great save by Denny Hamlin, but there they go. Hamlin up the track. Contact from Ryan Newman. And at the line, give the lead to Logano at the caution flag. It's Logano, Menard, and Blaney, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd as the caution is out for the 2nd time this afternoon. And I believe it all started with the 41 of Daniel Suarez Austin Dillon and Kevin Harvick at top 5. There's a heavy damage on the left side of the 41 and the 42. Suarez and Larson, McMurray, Chase Elliott, and Eric Almirola. Heavy damage on Denny Hamlin. The pace score is out for the second time this afternoon. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened coming off turn number 4 after these guys went 4 wide entering turn number 3. All right, now 4 wide at Talladega may work, but 4 wide here at Daytona, not always seem to do, as it's not that wide of a track, and we're going to see what happens here with Denny Hamlin makes it 4 wide on Paul Menard. And see, Menard has to give his teammate Ryan Blaney a little bit of room, runs Hamlin down towards the apron. And at this point, we thought it's going to be okay. These guys are going to get through it. These guys are going to hang on, and we're going to stay green. But check up here towards the outside wall at the top of your screen. The 41, Daniel Suarez, trying to help the 42 of Kyle Larson go towards the front, and Suarez gets into the left rear of the 42 of Larson, sends him down to Denny Hamlin. Around goes Eric Almirola, the number 6 of Ryan Newman, 42 of Kyle Larson. A lot of favorites right here towing up with Hamlin and Newman. And Hamlin and Suarez both have led at some point in this race, along with Eric Almirola, I believe. And a lot of good cars torn up, as we'll have about 3 or 4 laps to go. Logano, Menard, Blaney, Dillon, and Harvick, your top 5. And Suarez, we're going to take another look at the replay. And we're going to go on board with the driver out of Monterrey, Mexico, making his first start with Stewart-Haas Racing, and not really the way you want to start out your first race. You see he's on the outside. That's Eric Almirola in the 10 car, and you see Suarez. He's trying to help Larson, but it sends Larson into Almirola. Almirola goes down into Hamlin, and there goes Almirola and Ryan Newman going towards the outside wall. Not sure Almirola really got. I don't think Almirola got too much damage out of that, but Hamlin, Larson, and Suarez, the 3 guys who got majority of the damage out of that wreck off turn number 4. And it all started when that 4 wide move Denny Hamlin made down the backstretch. And you think about it, had Hamlin not made that 4 wide move, had he just kept it 3 wide, that may have not just happened there off turn number 4. But out front, Joey Logano looking for a second win here in the class. Won this race back in 2017. Paul Menard, Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, they've never won this race before. Kevin Harvick will round out the top 5 in 5th place. And all 16 cars are still rolling, though. We'll see if any guys will go down pit road under this caution flag. And well, until then, we'll be right back with the restart here from Daytona. We are back live here at Daytona, getting set for what could be the final restart of the afternoon. 16 drivers remain on track, but only 4 laps to go here in Daytona. Your front row, Joey Logano and Paul Menard, Ryan Blaney and Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick in 5th place, running out your top 5. Remember, though, Daniel Suarez and Kyle Larson, 6th and 7th, they stayed out. They did not come down pit road. They suffered some pretty good damage in that crash here off turn number 4. Just a few laps to go. Going to be interesting to see, can they hang with the lead pack? 8th place will be the 40 of Jamie McMurray, Chase Elliott, and Eric Almirola, your top 10. Hamlin, Newman, Johnson, Bowman, Keselowski, and Kyle Busch. That will round out the field of 16. As we come back down to the line, the green flag is back in the air. We're back underway from Daytona. And a really good jump by the 21 of Paul Menard. 22 Logano caught sleeping there on the restart, and Menard is going to drop down. He clears the 22. Great pass by Paul Menard on the restart. He goes to the lead. Joey Logano is going to get a pretty good push, though, from the 12 of Ryan Blaney. So does Menard have too big of a lead heading down the back straightaway? You see Blaney's giving Logano a pretty good push on Menard's bumper, and Logano looking to the inside, but Menard shuts the door. Talk about the 3 Fords up front. How about the 4 Kevin Harvick? How about the 40 of McMurray getting into the picture? And there's the 10 of Eric Almirola. He's also stayed out under this caution flag, and he did not suffer as much damage as the other guys involved in that crash did. And Almirola's up here trying to get inside the top 5 as Logano makes the move for the lead. Joey Logano on the inside. Ryan Blaney pushing him. Kevin Harvick in the 4. Harvick will make a 3 wide in the 4 car, and here comes the 40 of McMurray. McMurray's going to give Harvick a shove in turn number 3, but can Blaney shut the door? He does, and as he shuts the door, he goes to the inside for the lead. Logano left that inside line open, and here comes Ryan Blaney to take advantage of it. It's Blaney, Harvick, McMurray, Almirola, and Austin Dillon. The 5 guys on the inside versus the 2 cars on the outside of Logano and Menard. Now Dillon jumps up high to pick up the 2 guys on the outside. Here comes the 9 of Chase Elliott, the 6 of Ryan Newman. There's Suarez and Johnson, Keselowski trying to get back in the mix. And here comes the move by the inside by Kevin Harvick. He's got another push on McMurray in that 40 car, but can Blaney shut the door? He does, just barely, as Harvick getting into the left rear corner panel of the 12 car. Logano dropping back now with no help on the outside. That leaves Ryan Blaney with the lead with 1 more lap to go in the class from Daytona. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. It's Ryan Blaney up front. Kevin Harvick now moves to the outside to pick up Paul Menard. We've seen that outside line prevail on the restarts and on also throughout the entire day. Can Harvick make something happen? Help from the 21 Menard. Harvick's got a run. He's coming, but just not enough steam, not enough momentum. Now Almirola turns Menard. Menard down the track, takes out McMurray. McMurray and Harvick taken out. And a last lap crash here in turn number 3. And it's going to be the 12 of Ryan Blaney who escapes all the madness. And Ryan Blaney wins the clash from Daytona. Eric Almirola 2nd, Ryan Newman 3rd, Joey Logano and Jimmy Johnson. Your top 5. How about some of these guys? Almirola and Newman involved in that crash off turn number 4. They come home 2nd and 3rd after, I believe it was Almirola who got in the back of Paul Menard, and Menard came back up the track and clobbered the 40 of Jamie McMurray, who was possibly going to finish 2nd in his final start here in the clash. But that's the aftermath of the crash right there. Heavily damaged Advent Health Chevrolet for Jamie McMurray. Paul Menard, strong run all day long. Omnicraft Ford Mustang, completely torn up. There's Suarez, Kevin Harvick. Let's go back and take a look at the crash, and I believe it was caused by the 10 car of Eric Almirola. And we are going to go back and look at Almirola. And I believe he's on the outside. He's on the inside. See, there's Almirola. And yeah, it looks like he just came up the track just a little bit too much. And maybe at the same time, Paul Menard was coming down. He was getting a pretty good shove by Austin Dillon. So you have to think, did Austin Dillon give Menard too big of a shove and send him down the track? Either way, though, Almirola gets into Menard, and look at Menard. Comes back up and wipes out the 40 of McMurray and the 4 of Kevin Harvick, as well as the 9 of Chase Elliott, who gets collected. Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman gets through. Not really a good day for the Hendrick Chevrolets of Chase Elliott, Johnson, and Bowman. Really none of the guys really a contender throughout the race, throughout the entire afternoon. And there's Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon, the pole center, he had a strong run all day, only to get taken out in the final turn. And let's go back to the replay with Almirola one more time, and let's see a onboard camera with the 10 of Almirola, and let's see what he sees, as it looks like he's trying to side draft the 21. No doubt Almirola came up the track. I don't believe Paul Menard came down at all. It was all on Almirola. He came up the track. I see him trying to side draft that 21. Certainly got a little bit too aggressive when doing that, and a lot of guys got torn up. A lot of guys paid the price. Had a look at mainly the 40 of Jamie McMurray and the 4 of Kevin Harvick, who were second and third trying to win the race, only to get taken out by something that was going up behind them, and really nothing they can do about it. One guy who is pretty dang happy, though, it is to the guy of the number 12, Ryan Blaney. Has 2 career wins in the Cup Series at Pocono and the Charlotte Roval. Although this race is not a points-paying race, Ryan Blaney wins the Clash here from Daytona. It is the 3rd straight win for Team Penske in this race. Remember, Logano won this race 2 years ago. Brad Keselowski won this race 1 year ago. And Ryan Blaney will continue the Penske trend of winning the Clash as he is victorious here in Daytona. Let's look at your race results here from this afternoon. Ryan Blaney, your winner in the 12 car. He led the most laps throughout the entire race. He is your winner with Eric Almirola in second. Ryan Newman third. Joey Logano fourth. And Jimmy Johnson, your top 5. Had Denny Hamlin getting involved in that second to last crash off turn number 4. He comes back to get 6th. Kyle Larson the same, comes back to get 7th. Brad Keselowski, we saw him get run off the track earlier by Jimmy Johnson. He is 8th. Alex Bowman and Kevin Harvick, your top 10, with Paul Menard and Kyle Busch rounding out your top 12. Kevin Harvick was up there around 3rd place, ends up 10th. Menard was around 4th place, ends up 11th. As we take a look at the second page, Daniel Suarez, and there's the 40 of McMurray running around 2nd place at the time. The final start in the class for Jamie McMurray in the number 40. He ends up 14th. Chase Elliott and Austin Dillon. All 16 guys did complete the race. They all completed the 25 laps here at Daytona. 4 guys out of the race earlier in the race: Martin Truex Jr., Clint Bowyer, Eric Jones, and the 1 of Kurt Busch. That will conclude our broadcast here from Daytona, and that will end all of our activities here this weekend from the World Center of Racing. But the fun does not stop here. Next up on the schedule will be on Thursday, the Gator Outdoor Duels that will set the remainder of the starting grid for the 61st running of the Daytona 500, which will be taking place one week from today here on March 531. So the duels are on Thursday night. But after that, on Friday, will be the NASCAR Gator Outdoor Truck Series race from Daytona, followed by the NASCAR Xfinity Series premiere on Saturday, all leading up to the biggest race of the year, the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, like we said, next Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time here on March 531. Congratulations to Ryan Blaney in the number 12 PBG Ford Mustang. He's the first driver to take the Ford Mustang to victory lane in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. He is your winner here this afternoon from Daytona. We'll see you next Thursday night for the NASCAR NRV Duels here from Daytona. I'm Rick Burton, and thank you guys for watching here today. We'll see you Thursday here at the World Center of Racing. Bye.